It is day 17 on the Camino Frances. We're fast approaching the halfway point of the trip. This is supplemental material to the vlog series that I did 3 years ago in 2017. Guys, I'm not walking the Camino Frances right now in the middle of a pandemic, so don't attack me in the comments. Today, we're going to be walking around 26 kilometers from Boadilla del Camino to Carrión de los Condes. Pretty much flat. We're gaining about 100 meters over 26 kilometers, so you're not even going to notice it. We have quite a few towns along the way today where we can stop and have a snack, resupply, take a break from the scorching sun. But before we go into today's stage, let's go over the Camino de Santiago as a whole. Why? So that by the time you guys get there, you know it like the back of your hands. The Camino Frances stretches around 800 kilometers from Saint Jean Pied de Port all the way to Santiago de Compostela. And if you go an extra 100 kilometers to the end of the world, you're going to reach Fisterra or Muxia. I recommend you do both. As you make your way westbound across northern Spain, you're going to come across a few autonomous regions and provinces, and we're going to start with Navarra, followed by the wine region of La Rioja, and then we enter Castilla y León. Now in Castilla y León, we're cutting across 3 provinces, starting with Burgos, followed by Palencia, and then we reach León. After León, we enter Galicia, and in Galicia, we have Lugo, followed by A Coruña. These are the major cities that you're going to come across, the ones where you can get in and out easily, either by planes, trains, automobiles, or buses. And we start with Pamplona, followed by Logroño, and then Burgos, León, Ponferrada, Sarria. Sarria to Santiago, the last 100 kilometers in case you want a Compostela, like the ones that I have back there. That's the minimum that you have to do. Let's go into today's stage with the help of the elevation profile. As I mentioned before, 26 kilometers from Boadilla del Camino to Carrión de los Condes, gaining about 100 meters of elevation. We have quite a few towns along the way. We also have a choice to make when we get to Población de Campos. We can either follow the official Camino, which will take you on the main road, or we can take an alternative. I recommend you take the alternative because you're going to be walking through the countryside, and it's gonna be more peaceful and quiet. Either way, they both meet in Villalcázar de Sirga. This is where I had lunch, where I regrouped with Spaniard friends, and then you only have 6 kilometers to go to Carrión de los Condes. The day started at 6 o'clock in the morning. I woke up extremely early, did not want to have breakfast, I just wanted to get out. Bunch of pilgrims were starting to wake up around 5 in the morning, so I just had enough. Also, I was trying to avoid the mid-morning sun, so I wanted to get to Carrión de los Condes before 2 p.m. So I was out of the albergue. It was 6:17 in the morning. I walked by the main plaza in front of the church, making my way out of town. It was pretty dark. I had to use my phone as a headlamp because the headlamp that I brought, I got rid of it in Logroño. Made a left turn here, 6:30 in the morning. I could see the sun was about to rise as I was making my way to the Canal de Castilla. Now this channel was built in order to take the grains of the region to the ports in Cantabria, but it turned out to be a major blunder. Luckily for us, we're gonna follow it for a while to the next town, to Frómista. And from here, I got the shots of the sunrise, drone shots of the area. Remember, as I was flying the drone over the canal, like a bird flew in front of it, but since the drone has sensors in front, it detected the bird, and all of a sudden it stopped, and you could see the bird just fly by in front of it. It was a pretty cool morning. I was walking with a few pilgrims along this stretch until I made it at 7:30 to these water locks here. And what a great place to stop for a second and take a couple of pictures while you're at it. And I had a playful dog welcome me into the town of Frómista at 7:35 in the morning. You get to go under the rail tracks here, and I got to see storks nesting here by this factory before making it to this pension. They have a water fountain in front, and they also have a bar. This is where I had breakfast at 7:30 in the morning. I had a café con leche and a napolitano. Left the bar, and from here to the next town, you're walking on the main road on the shoulder, so you don't have to worry about it. But you go through this couple of roundabouts over the main highway, Here, 8:11 in the morning, you get to see a sign 3 kilometers to Población. By the time I made it to Población de Campos, here on the left-hand side is Ermita de San Miguel. This is where I got that shot, the zoom shot into the door that you see in the trailer. The way I did that was just by zooming all the way in and then moving forward and repeating the process all the way to the front door and then just cutting it together to make it seem like it was a continuous zoom. So the Spanish flag here as I made my way into the town. And in this town, you have a few hotels, albergues, and a few bars, so you're covered. Right by Ermita de Nuestra Señora del Socorro, I refill my water bottle. And also, here's a tip. If you make it to a town and they don't have any water fountains, but they have a bar or a restaurant, you can always go in and ask them to fill it up at the tap, and they will gladly do so. This is where I got to the split on the road. If you go on the left-hand side, you're going to follow the main Camino, but it's going to be on the main road. It's going to be a busy road. You're going to go through a couple of towns, and it will rejoin the alternative at Villalcázar de Sirga. I opted instead to make the right turn and follow the peaceful, quiet country road. You can see the main road in the distance. I could make out a few pilgrims walking in that direction. And as I was about to leave the town, I saw Iglesia de Santa María de Magdalena. This church dates back to like the 14th century. And I got a couple of drone shots here, walking in the fields. This is all agricultural fields. You can see the tractors and the farmers out and about. You can see a few water channels, water canals, irrigation fields. Saw a few pilgrims here, so I wasn't alone. Until I made it to the next village or town. And that is Villovieco. Saw a couple of storks here nesting atop these grain storage tanks. It was 9:47 in the morning, and here you have a pilgrim statue. And I followed the yellow arrows going over the Rio Ucieza. And here there's a service area, which happens to be closed when I pass by. I tried my luck at the rock stacking once again. And from here on, you're following the river all the way to the next town. 10:10 in the morning. Here I was playing with the haystacks. I got to hear the frogs in the river. I saw a dead snake in the path. Hopefully it wasn't poisonous. I doubt it. And then at 10:54, you take this backcountry road, make your way past Ermita de Nuestra Señora del Río to Villalcázar de Sirga. I got to town at 11:11 in the morning. And in the town, I stopped at this bar to have a quick bite for lunch. I had some orange juice, and I met the Spaniards, the ones that I got to walk with a few days back. And the last time that I saw them was in Burgos. Well, we rejoined here, and we're going to walk together for a couple of days more. I went into Iglesia de Santa María la Blanca, a staple of the Camino Francés. I got to spend some time in here. I also got a stamp. I got to explore the church a little bit. Got lost in all the artwork in there for about an hour. And then I stopped across the street here just to take a break. Took off my shoes, water my feet down. Added some Vaseline and took care of the hot spots and the small blister that I had on my right toe. Across the street from there, it was already noon. And I stopped by this pilgrim statue before heading out to the main road. This corner right here is where the two caminos join once again. It was 12:30. And from here, it's just a straight line to Carrión de los Condes, 6 kilometers, and you're going to be there in the blink of an eye. I got to Carrión de los Condes at 1:23 in the afternoon. And here, Ermita de la Piedad, there's a mural there. There's a Cruzado. As you make your way into the town, you walk by Monasterio de Santa Clara. I came back later on in the afternoon to visit the monastery because I was born in Santa Clara, Cuba. So, it was something that I had to do. So you make your way into the town. And I got to the Albergue Parroquia de Santa Maria. I've heard about this albergue before. They have a group of nuns here that take care of the pilgrims, and in the afternoon, they usually sing for you. As I checked into the albergue, they gave me a little bit of apple juice. They stamped my pilgrim's passport. I got a couple of shots there interacting with the nuns and the people in the albergue. I fell back into my routine, did not want to hand wash my clothes today, so they had a washer and a dryer, and I went for it. I went to a small supermarket just to get a bar of soap because I was running low. I bumped into Maria and she showed me a nasty blister that she had on her leg. It was very painful and she was limping a lot. At 6 p.m., I had a meeting with the nuns and we all gathered around her. They had a guitar. They sang happy birthday to one of the pilgrims. They had a few songs in the list that they passed around. So we would just get to pick what song we wanted to hear and they would play it out for us. It was a very memorable moment on the Camino Frances for me, so I highly recommend you stay with them. They're super nice. It was 7:30 when I headed to the patio. We had a massive communal dinner. If you guys want to save some money, this is the way to go. But also, this is the best way to interact with the pilgrims in the Camino and just share your experience with them. 8 p.m. I went to the pilgrim mass at the Iglesia de Santa Maria. And that's it, guys. That was day 17 in a nutshell. Amazing day. How you guys enjoying La Meseta? I told you not to skip it, and it's only gonna get better. Tomorrow we have another 26-kilometer day. We're gonna reach the halfway point of the Camino Frances in Terradillos de los Templarios. And at this albergue is when I found out for the first time about the Via Francigena. I put it in the back of my mind. Little did I know that a year after, I was going to be walking from Canterbury to Rome over 2,000 kilometers. One of the best trips that I've ever taken in my life. We also going to have a 12-kilometer stretch with 0 pilgrim support, and it's just a straight line. I'm also going to get a little bit of rain, but we're going to go into that on tomorrow's video. Hope to see you there.